Final Fantasy is a famous RPG franchise active since 1987 that keeps updating itself game after game. Initially, the game was a JRPG and has undergone numerous changes over the years. It took on a new format, continuing as an action RPG, mixing RPG with hack and slash, leaving turn-based battles aside. One of its greatest classics is the great Final Fantasy VII, originally released in 1997 and receiving a worthy remake in 2020, taking the series to a new level. Tetsuya Nomura, responsible for several games in the FF franchise, including Crisis Core, was also responsible for creating Kingdom Hearts. In 2007, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII was released for the PlayStation Portable, PSP, serving as a prologue, prequel, prelude, call it whatever you like, to Final Fantasy VII. Now, in 2022, after long years of waiting to play it on other platforms, fans were presented with a remaster for several consoles, introducing the game to a new generation and warming the hearts of the most fanatical PSP players. Before diving into Crisis Core FFVII Reunion, let's understand what this version actually is. Yes, it is a remaster, but it falls into the category that some companies tend to call Remaster Plus, just like the Crash and Spyro trilogy, released in 2017 and 2018 respectively. Despite the improved gameplay and reworked graphics, it is important to keep in mind that it is a visually beautiful game, but with a PSP game structure, that is, it is a game model that has not aged so well, despite still being an important piece to understand more about the Final Fantasy universe. Is the game the same or have changes? Time to find out. The Crisis Core plot came to complement the FFVII story. The game begins with the introduction of FFVII, however, in the shoes of Zack Fair. Zack's journey works like the cliché of the hero's journey, where the protagonist has his friends more experienced than himself, but still believes he can overcome them. Zack is a second-class soldier of the Shinra Electric Power Company and receives a special mission to investigate the disappearance of the first-class soldier Genesis and understand what is happening. This mission could turn Zack into a first-class soldier, but much more than that, he wants to become a true hero. His journey in search of conquering what he wants will make him stronger and, together with his friends, he will learn the true meaning of what it is to be a great warrior. With a lot of humor and engaging characters, Crisis Core is the first step towards understanding the new direction that FF has taken. A cake recipe, however, for a very stuffed cake. The reunion version of Crisis Core features improved gameplay over the previous version. Because it's not a turn-based RPG, but a hack and slash, we have much greater control over the character, even if we still have to stop at all times to battle an enemy. However, unlike the PSP version, I felt an improvement in terms of replaying battles. The game is more dynamic, with a reduction in stops in battle mode and, when it is available, it is more fluid, taking less time for the player. For those who played FFVII Remake, you will easily get used to the gameplay style, as the game came before CCFFVR. For players who are not used to Final Fantasy or have only played the turn-based RPG versions, the game may be a little strange at first, but nothing that will compromise the experience with the game. As it is a revamped version of the PSP, I confess that I was pleasantly surprised by the gameplay. Both for the improved mechanics, such as the DMW, and with the loading screens. Yes, the loads exist and are excessive, however, they are very fast. As the game had its gameplay reworked and perfected, right away it is possible to feel the movement less blocked. Now, we have our own combat button, as well as being able to run while exploring. When entering battle mode, the system is similar to the turn model, creating a combat area where the player can try to escape or fight and defeat enemies, but leaving him free to walk around and set up his best strategy. It is worth remembering that the game has a vast tutorial and explanations of everything and a little more, making it much more accessible. DMW works like a casino machine, where we see three figures and they can be combined to generate some enhancement or special power. As we are battling, the figures will rotate and will be able to grant character aids, temporary increase in strength, special power, etc., and will potentially be increased as we gain a greater bond with the character in question. There are several characters and each with their respective skill. In the original version, when we got the DMW advantage, it was used automatically. Now, it is possible to choose the moment in which we will use it, making it possible to maintain our strategy and only use it if necessary. At first it may seem quite confusing, but just read about the function in the menu to understand what it is. Shinra missions are part of secondary objectives and work like another campaign. They are divided into chapters and each chapter with its respective tasks. Upon completing them, the player will be rewarded with some item or material and experience points to pass the level. Unfortunately, they can become repetitive, since it does not have a wide variety of objectives, nor places where these missions take place. To do these missions, just access them from the menu or through the save point. I invested a lot of time in these quests, because I could get to the main quests with higher levels and skills. Improvements happen through the use of materials. Materials are awarded when winning battles, can be purchased in the store or missions in general. We can equip them to increase our powers, it consumes our magic bar, or to make Zack stronger. The most interesting part of this mechanic is the possibility for the player to test numerous combinations and see which one he likes the most. Crisis Core, even though it was originally a PSP game, tries to implement an exploration mechanic. In those moments, outside the mission, we will be able to find people, or dolls almost totally inexpressive, with secondary objectives for our great Zack to accomplish. In general, these moments of exploration add up and it is possible to see that, even for the portable, Square tried to deliver something cool. Visually, the new version is sensational. The places we visit on a mission are well crafted, even if the structure of the setting is dated. Each location has been graphically redone, and even the cinematic animations have been reworked. From what we have in the remaster, it is clear that it is a lower budget version of Square and a portable game, but it delivers much more than a simple remaster. A sensational novelty that was implemented in this new version is the dubbing in moments of conversations. As well, RPGs tend to have moments of interaction with other characters during exploration. In these moments, it is common for it to be a textual conversation only and with small animations from the NPC, that is, there is an absence of voice. Now, several extra dialogues that we didn't have before have been added. The dubbing is very well done, both the English and Japanese versions, and it delivers all the emotion of the plot well. I dare say that it can stir even the least sentimental. Unfortunately, the game did not receive subtitles in Portuguese, which is a great pity, since FFVII has subtitles and its story is one of the best within the Final Fantasy universe. Final Fantasy music is always phenomenal. In Crisis Core, things are no different. The songs bring an emotion at every moment they appear. Are you in combat mode? Adrenaline goes to 1,000. Are you in a sad situation? Melancholy will not be lacking. Overall, the track is worthy of being added to your playlist and listened to at other times. Congratulations to those involved. In terms of sound effects, the situation is the same. All very well worked and, apparently, reworked. The ambient sounds are interesting and the ones in combat are frantic and infectious. There is only one sound that has become repetitive for me: combat endings. As the battles are frequent, when finishing it, we have a conclusion sound. After hours and hours of gameplay, I confess that I was a little uncomfortable, but that's just an isolated issue of my personal taste. As I played the Switch version, I confess that I played it expecting to encounter problems. In the end, the game surprised me too much. It's very well optimized and fluid. I only had 3 moments with frame drops, and they were moments with a lot going on screen, including explosions. Despite the graphic being visibly jagged at certain points, the performance is very satisfying and enjoyable. As for the bugs, I'm so glad I didn't experience them at any time during all my hours of gameplay. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is a pleasant surprise for all Final Fantasy fans and will even serve as a gateway for new players. As it is a revamped portable game, it is normal to be on the back foot and receive it with a certain prejudice. Although it was a real fear, even more knowing the quality that some remastered games have, FFVII Reunion is an achievement to be applauded. The game manages to make you forget at various times that it's just a remaster and it's not something completely new. For anyone who likes FF and has played FFVII, this is a must-have title. It may even have moments in its gameplay that are dated and it has not had the privilege of aging well. However, its additions and improvements do justice to the quality of the series and it is more than recommended. Positive points: improved mechanics, overhauled graphics, soundtrack, exciting story, very accessible tutorial. Negative points: dated gameplay, repetitive missions, little variety of environments inside missions. Rating: graphics, 10. Fun, 8. Gameplay, 9. Soundtrack and sound effects, 8. Performance and optimization, 10. Final grade, 9.